Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly for pricing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing an early F-Series, so circa 2003, Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona in steel and yellow gold. This is reference 116523. The watch includes a spectacular golden mother-of-pearl dial, and you can actually see that there's a little bit of a contrast between the mother-of-pearl cut used on the registers and the dial itself. So this is a beautiful timepiece of rare qualities. Now, it's what every Daytona from this era would be, so mechanically and physically, it's going to be standard fare. It's the dial that really sets this one apart. 40 millimeters in diameter. It is 12.3 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 46.5 millimeters, and if you include the solid end links of the bracelet, it is 50.8 millimeters across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw this watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it wears easily, comfortably on my wrist. Flat enough to fit underneath a dress cuff. It's not terribly broad, and I've seen this generation of Daytona worn on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, so I know it can be done. And you can see there is a wonderful synergy between those yellow gold elements and the golden mother of pearl of the dial. Taking a quick look at the bracelet, it is the Oyster bracelet. It has a conforming end link. It's polished down its center, polished on its outer face, and then satinated on the shoulders. There's a little bit of a taper to it. Removable links are fixed by screws for easier sizing. This is the pre-2009 Daytona Clasp design, so you do have the straight-through yellow gold, and you've got a clamshell lock system, but you can see that the hinge is a little bit different. And we'll get back internally and take a look at what's inside. You could see that it doesn't quite have the lift lock system, the beak and the hook that you'd find on the 2009 and later. What it does still have, however, is the EasyLink system. So tool-free, in and out, snap in, snap out, 5 millimeters of tool-free adjustment, the equivalent of adding or removing one sizable link. And you can see the long-running clasp divots. There are 3 divots inside the clasp. You can use your strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside the clasp. Now, Rolex has its own foundry. It makes its cases, bracelets, and clasps, makes its own gold, and it makes its own steel, and it uses 904L steel. You know that yellow gold isn't going to oxidize, but it's not always a given that stainless steel can take exposure to industrial acids, body sweat, and sea salt without rinsing, but Rolex 904L steel does not need to be rinsed after exposure to sea salt, or, for that matter, many industrial acids. We have here screw-down crowns, screw-down chronograph pushers, 100 meters of water resistance, all yellow gold, lacquered numeral, lacquered index tachymeter. Use the tachymeter along with the chronograph to gauge the speed of something, such as a car at Daytona International Speedway. And you have a dial of extraordinary qualities. It has a wonderful, almost, I guess this would be called chatoyancy. It has a sort of depth, a play of light over several reflective layers superimposed. We have yellow gold hands, yellow gold numerals, yellow gold crown, and yellow gold chapter rings for each of the sub-registers. You can see the whole dial is golden mother of pearl, but at certain angles the registers contrast to beautiful effect. Inside the case, by the way, sapphire crystal, should go without saying, but it's true. We have Rolex manufactured caliber 4130, bidirectional automatic winding, 72-hour power reserve. It has stop seconds. It is a COSC chronometer. It pivots on 44 joules and beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring that helps it keep even time in any physical position, the better to earn its chronometer certification. It also has a full balance bridge and a free sprung index to make the watch more shock tolerant. And this movement, 4130, was the first Rolex automatic caliber to use a winding rotor bearing rather than a jeweled staff, which made it more shock tolerant. And though the niobium zirconium hairspring in this era of Daytona was not oxidized blue, every caliber 4130 from the beginning had the parachrom alloy that was anti-magnetic. It was made a little bit tougher in the long run with the bluing oxidation, but it has the same anti-magnetic qualities here as it would have later on when it became parachrom blue. Reach out. By the way, I should mention one more thing before I do, that the watch has a column wheel for cycling the chronograph functions and a vertical clutch for engaging the chronograph without any jump or stagger to the chronograph seconds hand, plus the vertical clutch allows you to keep the chronograph running full-time with no hazard or additional wear and tear to the watch. Once again, reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Rolex Daytona mother-of-pearl dial.